first.
High roll.
You get high roll.
Sure.
5. Taking your car
6.
crash comps away.
Can I not sit next to the chair?
11.
11. I'm gonna kill myself.
You can, it's just that your head's going to be in the camera.
I have to be back.
12. I mean, you can
We're
be
just
wherever you
progressively
want.
getting
But
bigger.
Just when I'm not in the shot, I would be back.
8.
Here, is what I'm saying.
Okay. I can pull up another chair for you. So you don't have to.
Kevin,
This is also really fun.
roll it.
What's the highest roll so far?
12.
12.
Roll again.
Well,
Well, we.
Jared,
I'll just go first
Jared-
because
I
I.
rolled a
No, I-
6.
Yeah, Jared,
do
roll.
you want to
Was
roll?
it
Do you
high?
want to roll for it? Yes, it was high.
Okay,
Do you want to roll for it? High roll?
sure.
All right. Well, I rolled it off the table.
That's a pretty low roll.
I can't tell because it's sideways, so I'm gonna just say 5.
1.
Alright.
He shoots himself.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Howdy.
The king is watching. This is for context, this is a video game that I picked up recently that I have been very into. I know I've done a lot of RuneScape plays on words before, and RuneScape usernames, but now I'm going to do this because in the past 2 or 3 weeks, I spent like 160 hours on this game. So what is the king watching? Any ideas? Any thoughts?
Is it like a 5 Nights at Freddy's kind of thing?
Not quite. Anyone know who that is?
That's Soldier Boy.
That is Soldier Boy.
Yeah, we had to tell him.
That is, you did have to tell him. And I also learned that I don't think he's actually saying you in that song. I think he's saying you, like Y-U-U-U-A, like ya.
Okay.
I looked it up. I couldn't figure it out.
I disagree with you.
That's what I said. I was like, "There's no way he's not saying you."
What do you mean?
This isn't even the point. This isn't even the point of my PowerPoint. I knew this was going to be like the contention point going into it. I was like,
I think it's a call
I was
to
like,
action. It's you crank that soldier boy.
that's what I thought. But the captions on the video are like Y-U-U-U-U-A.
Who captured this?
I don't know. I don't know. Just kidding, kind of. It's not exactly you, but it is a video game. I did get it in a bundle. It was like $20 for 9 kings, and the king is watching because I guess they both have king in their name. So now we're going to get right into it. Gaze.
Hell yeah.
What did I do now?
So this is an acronym that I came up with, and for anyone that's not in the know yet, this is get all... I'm glad the transitions are working because I think this next one's not going to work, but we'll see. Your...
There he goes.
It's not gonna. I don't think it comes back either. Stuff. So the point of the game. I have a video on the game on what's actually in the game, but essentially, gaze, wood, gold, wheat. You can get like all of these different resources. These are all. I think these are the ones that I picked for random effects, so I don't even know what they are going to be. And I hope. And that's. It's fucked up a little bit. I tried to make this bigger. I tried to make it look like the list kept going on, but it didn't work, so it's a little unfortunate. And then the list keeps. And I did that intentionally.
The wings get.
Yeah. So gaze versus gaze. So in the game, you are like looking down on a civilization, and you're like forcing them to work. So that's like kind of the point of the game is, and so.
It's like that Martin Cabello video.
I love the
today's
gaze
subject,
games.
Slavery. It's like that.
So you can upgrade your gaze, and you want to utilize your gaze to maximize your gaze, get all your stuff, right?
Okay.
You following? Yeah. Okay. And you also need to take advantage of the gaze. That's an important one. Ben, I'm sure you're or
What?
take advantage of the gays.
Well, I'm just wondering, is there like a character select here for like male versus female?
There is a character select. Unfortunately, there's no queens.
Yeah, but my question is like, is the male gaze like stronger?
Depending on the male, yes. The male gaze, yes. Do you get it? Gaze sounds like gaze.
Wait, really?
Oh my
You get it?
goodness.
Now I'm not.
Can you say it one more time?
Just
Gaze?
kidding me.
Sounds like gaze.
I've got that 1,000 times.
Now I know what you're thinking, and it's this. This is what you're thinking. And I agree. By the way, that transition is my favorite. I don't know how I did it that well, but
I like how
Man.
occasionally there's 2 H's in a row.
yeah, no,
Randomly.
it's so I basically
there's 3 in one spot.
I basically just did this on my keyboard for as long as I could. I did not copy and paste anything. I was very lazy. I was laying in my bed making this.
Why else
The
would you
Gears
record?
Watching is a single-player, real-time, macro-based management roguelike auto battler in which the player acts as any one of 7 different kings. Featuring 2 maps and multiple ascension levels of difficulty, players organize the castle layout with production buildings for resources, training grounds for troops, and other specialized structures. Out-game, there are upgrade trees and challenges for the player to complete to unlock King's Council advisors, new buildings, and general gameplay bugs.
Good question. I don't.
Players
That's
assign
a
5x5 grid inside their castles, which they can place blueprint buildings that they have or that they obtain throughout the run. A good board within the castle walls acts as your king's gaze. Under that watchful eye, the citizens of the castle will work only
Bro,
with
it's
the buildings
bigger.
they can see. Players can move or rotate the gaze to different locations on the castle grid in order to work different areas. Eventually, with enough resources, gaze can be upgraded to broadly used structures. Be careful though, as weeks go by on that, various enemies will attempt to approach and destroy your castle.
I like how they show up like Guilty Gear characters.
Panels of resource collection.
Did you hear the noise?
Yeah.
There's a little horn that plays that like
Yeah.
fucks with it.
So my PowerPoint is on alignment. Felt cute might delete later. I had something else written here. So what happened was I was in Discord with Ben, and I hit the stizzy for the first time in a little while, and so it hit a little extra hard, and I couldn't stop coughing. And I did this slide, and then another slide that's like slide 4, and both of them look like shit because I didn't know what I was doing, and I was very tired and very
Is this
high.
why you kept laughing and saying they look so upset?
Yeah.
Okay, I still don't know what that means, but
Hell
okay.
yeah. All right, so proper alignment. If you're hungry, what will you eat?
Make a grandma.
Food. Okay, so we're all in agreement. You would eat food. Would you look up a recipe video to help you make that food?
Absolutely not.
No.
Sure.
No.
But you might watch a video of someone cooking while you're eating.
You bastard. The way you know that.
So which YouTuber can you trust? So there are over 51 million YouTube channels on the platform as of 2022. This is some graph a nerd on Reddit put together. His name is also Jared, so that's unfortunate. But he put this together to show, like, you know your percentage. If you're, for like right now, I think my channel's got like 50 subs because I think 30 of them are like porn bots, and then 20 of them are people I know in real life. So I would be in that, top 100%. I'm there. But if I get 50 more porn bots, then I can move up to the top 53 percentile. That's irrelevant for what we're going over today. I had to share something off of this because I did kind of just rip it off Reddit, and I'm only giving him credit in the fact that I'm saying his name is Jared, and then this might still be in full screen on the recording. Oops. No! How would you didn't see shit. How would you know who's good, that you can trust, and who you should fear? So the thing that you didn't see moments ago, this is an alignment chart. Anyone here play D&D? I know you play D&D. Do you play D&D? Anyone? D&D? No?
Played it once.
Stands for Dungeons and Dragons. So in a D&D game, you would have a character that has an alignment. It basically says, based on if they're one of these 9 things on a general, surface level, your character will act a certain way in certain situations. And if they don't, then you suck at playing role-playing games because you didn't do the one thing you said you were going to do. But I felt this would be good just to kind of give you a generalization of like the kinds of people you find on YouTube. And in particular, we're looking at chefs. Well, chefs. You're a chef if you've been like, accredited as a chef. Then you're a cook if you have it. So in my case, I'm a cook. I've never been more than a cook, so I never got accredited as a chef. I don't have a Michelin star. And in most cases on this PowerPoint, they don't have a Michelin star either, so they're cooks. I think there's only two chefs, I think, on this that are actually chefs, and then the rest are cooks.
I think I know who they are.
So here's your alignment chart. We're going to be using this to align cooks and chefs. So I present you the Objective Food Tuber Alignment Chart by Rat, me, also known as RKH, and formerly known as Go if you're an old head, or Turts if you're a little bit racist.
What if you're both?
You're whatever the oldest one is, you are that one. So you're a little bit racist.
A little?
So here are 9 cooks, 2 chefs.
Yeah, dude, you nailed it.
So we've got
Holy shit.
from top over down, got J. Kenji Lopez. He's lawful good. He knows he's talking about. He's worked with America's Test Kitchen. He's put out several cookbooks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And he's a good cook and chef because he cleans up as he goes. And that's one of the most important things with cooking is that you can cook well, but if you leave a mess as you're going, you're not really good at cooking. You just can cook well. And that's not look, most people will fall into that bracket. Like, that's not me shaming anyone. Like, if you like to cook, cook. But if you want to be seen as a good cook, you got to make sure you are cleaning up as you go. That's all it is. And it's no shame, no discredit on there. Then we've got one of my favorites, which is Chinese Cooking Demystified. These guys rock. If you ever wanted to make good Chinese food at home, they will show you it's like actually legitimately inexpensive. Like, it's super cheap, and in most cases it's actually really easy. That's the whole point of their channel, is like, hey, let's show you, how to make good shrimp fried rice for like under $10 at home, and it's not going to like cause you any problems. My other personal favorite is Mr. Matty Matheson. He's an actual chef. He's also a fucking legend. The dude got sober, I think, back in like 2011 or something. And ever since, he's living a whole new life. Fucking awesome dude. I've got one of his cookbooks. Alton Brown, he's lawful neutral. This guy, Food Network couldn't hold on to him because a lot of people who were watching the Food Network didn't fuck with his style. And so they pulled him. But that doesn't stop him from being a fantastic chef.
Have you seen his Twitter?
No.
Because that'll completely change where he is on this alignment, and I won't spoil it for you.
Well, I'll never know. Then we've got cooking. Then we got Cooking with AB. I just found this guy's channel not too long ago, but like instantly fell in love with him because he's really good about like portion control, not in the sense of like dieting, but just like knowing how much of something to put into a dish. It's kind of like a hidden science in a lot of cases. I believe you showed me Future Canoe.
We showed him Future. I remember the day.
I've never been more upset with like watching someone cook. But he's funny as shit, and I have to keep coming back. So it's like, dude, like, I just want to see what's the one thing you're gonna make where it looks like shit and then get roasted for on Instagram. Like, I gotta see it. It's fucking awesome, and he's funny as shit. He's one of the funniest people I've seen that cook.
He has the Ligma fork.
Now we get down to one individual who I can't stand, one individual who I'm very, very proud of, and another individual who should probably be in jail. Can't stand Weissman. Cannot. If you like Weissman, that's cool. More like, that's great. I can't stand him. I remember liking him at one point, and then he got to a level with his cooking where it was very much just like he was doing this to get like Facebook clicks back when that was a thing. And then he just started being a douchebag.
I think he came out recently that he's a sex pest as well. So
What?
He can
What
die.
are you gonna tell me next? Like, what's the next shocking news?
So, he does have some culinary skill, and he does have like good cleanliness about him, so that he lands in lawful evil. But like, honestly, out of all 9 of these people, fuck him. Sorry, not a fucking fan. Very proud of Airsoft Fatty. This man, I think he's down to like 240 pounds. He has lost some serious weight. He's turned his life around with the help of a good community of people who care about him. Not necessarily his fan base on YouTube, but like the ones that are still there, they're very much like a positive force for him, where it's like, hey man, we're so stoked to see you're doing good, and like we can't wait to see what you're gonna do next. Love that for him. But he had a really good group of people in life, like real life, that turned him around and like gave him another shot. And I'm really happy to see that of him. That being said, his cooking is like nightmare fuel.
Oh my god.
And I do have short clips for each chef so you can get an idea of what their style is like. I'm sure like you've probably seen most of them, if not like 2 or 3 of them. But I'm going to give you a little taste of all of them. Except for Airsoft Fatty, you're going to get the full 1 minute and 38 second video because editing it down just seemed like a disservice. And lastly, the man who probably should be in prison kind of looks like Ed Kemper if you like squint.
He does, yeah.
Mr. Ordinary Sausage. One of my most recent favorite Slav content. Like the first video, hated his voice, kind of like 100 Gex. Like first listen, nah, hate it. This is dog shit. Second listen, all right, maybe I'm a little bit drunk. Third listen, all right, I'm listening to this dude when I'm going to bed. I'm gonna fucking wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning sweating because he just put something I know he shouldn't have put into a sausage grinder, and I can't unthink of my subconscious having that burned in there. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, cause yeah, you know. So, anyways, who do you want to start with? Who do you want to watch first? Kenji?
Yeah, let's,
all right.
let's go.
You're gonna like
in
this
order.
one. Hopefully this works. I tried it out, before, whatever. Hopefully it works. It's probably just gonna open like a new tab and we'll go from there.
And actually, I think I could use a touch more honey.
Yep. And he's using golden curry. I think it might have been Vermont.
Let's sweeten the deal, huh? Alright. Let's see where we are there now. Texture's looking good. Reduced down a little bit. Looks sort of saucy, but not soupy and not gloppy, which is how you like it, because you want enough sauce to get in with that rice. This is one of those dishes that you eat with a spoon in Japan. So a little bit more. All right. And I think we're about done. Oh, you know what I'm going to add to here? And actually, I think I could use a touch more.
So that's just a little taste of it.
Honey.
Very, very professional.
He runs a restaurant.
He does. All right. We're just going to go in order, if everyone's cool with that.
Yeah. Just start prepping your bowl. Take a good spoonful or 2 of your sauce and evenly spread it around the bottom of the bowl. Your noodles are going to rest on top of this. For our noodles, we're using Shengmian or raw noodles. We just got these from the market, but feel free to sub in whatever similar noodles you've got handy. Once those noodles are cooked, about 3 minutes for this type of noodle, take them out and run them under cold water or toss in an ice bath to stop the cooking process. Now, you could totally just throw these into a bowl now, but we got YouTube thumbnails to make, so Steph's using the restaurant technique of carefully laying down the noodles in a back and forth pattern to make everything all pretty. Toss a couple generous spoonfuls of the meat mixture on top. Add an extra spoon or 2 of the chili oil around the sides. Garnish with some green onion and devour. Noodles. Just start prepping your bowl. Take a good spoonful.
Start prepping your bowl.
And now for Mr. Maddie Matheson, I wish you would bring this series back. Please, God,
All
Maddie.
right, we have our sticky toffee pudding, our caramel sauce, our creme fraiche, and some beautiful sea salt. Shall we have a bite?
It's the
Look at this
quietest
bite.
I've ever seen him.
Look at that bite. Look at that bite. It's so fucking good, though. This is the best thing I've ever made in my life. Don't fuck. I'm doing the last shot. I'm trying to eat my sticky toffee pudding. And all of a sudden you're just like, ugh. I saw it drop, camera B. You shook up the camera. You know what you have to do. You gotta sing your way out of it.
I need some love like I never needed love before.
All right, we have our sticky toffee pudding, our...
So those are the good ones. I would say out of this list, if you're going to watch any of them that you haven't already watched, I'd start with these 3. Moving on to the neutral. This is probably going to be like, you know, a little bit hit or miss.
Wings are covered with skin. Skin will stick to a hot piece of metal like a tongue to a winter flagpole. So you can use racks, which will help, and you'll lube them up liberally before you lay on the poultry. Now, if you want crispy skin, and of course we do, we'll need to pour on the heat. 425 degrees should do the trick. Of course, since they contain a little bit of fat, odds are there'll be a bit of smoke, but it'll be okay. Wings are covered with skin. Skin will...
You're probably thinking, like, why isn't that in chaotic neutral? Because that's probably, like, you're never going to really fucking see that. And this is, like, his new stuff on YouTube, he doesn't fucking do bits like that. But he's still... You got me fucking wondering what this thing on Twitter is.
He's a MAGA Republican. Really.
Ask anybody that's giving you a recipe or whatever, how long. You want to get yourself one of these thermometers, right? You see this right here? This happens to be my brand, but listen, this will let me know. I want my wings to be right. I like them at 165.
I like how he didn't advertise. He just says this one is
Small.
mine.
I put it in here like this, and oh my goodness, they ready. I'll check one more of these thick ones. Ah, yeah, they ready to come off. So, let me grab my tongs, and then I'm gonna show you what they look like.
So can I ask a question?
We get up close and personal with it, right? Maybe I can grab it this way.
Is the departure from
You
good
see that right
to
there?
neutral when they change over to
Look
the
at
black
the back side
gloves?
of it. Ooh. Right?
Not intentionally.
I love how tattoo artists were using those, and then YouTube chefs were like, you know what, me too.
I blame Babish.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that he was one of the first Patreon patrons
Come
for
on down
our
here and look at
account.
this. I don't ask anybody that's giving you a recipe or whatever, how long. You want to get yourself one of...
We're almost through it. I'm very proud of us all. We're doing a great job watching videos.
Surprisingly, these are the simplest dishes of the day. Starting with the OJ goldfish cereal. Yep, it's exactly how it sounds. So, the normal cereal procedure. Believe me when I tell you, there's no goldfish in my local grocery store. So, once we pour the juice, cheesy fish will be replaced by the extra toasty square with the hole in it. This is like the medicine for calcium deficiency, or a sign of mental instability. So, let's try it out.
He also poured the juice in.
I'm ashamed to admit it, but I'm digging. Surprisingly, these are the simplest dishes of the day. Starting with the OJ gold.
Now I'm gonna apologize because I'm gonna have to make us watch a 16-second clip of Joshua Weissman.
You did buy dinner though, so that's true.
I'm gonna swallow it, okay? I'm gonna swallow it. Like, where? This is just trash. I mean, this is like the lowest tier of food physically possible. This has to be the worst that I've tasted. Even the McDonald's fillet of fish, I would take that
Fucked up that you're
just
making me agree
10
because I
times.
do hate Dino Nuggets.
You're so fucking lucky it's your birthday, brother.
I don't. They're mushy.
I agree.
Thank you, Gail. You can't be mad at me. Your fiance agrees. With me.
Cooking with Fatty. Meat salad. What you'll need
Let's
is
go.
your sandwich meat and hot dogs.
The fact that you're using
Well,
bar
take your first sandwich meat, shred it, and put it in a bowl. Take 2 or 3 hot dogs, and you chop them up. You throw them in with the other meat, then you stir that shit.
When I lived with Jared last time, he would hold me hostage and make
You
me
shred up some
watch.
cheese and put it in. Throw that bitch.
Hold you hostage?
One time you didn't let me go to bed until I watched and went all the way through with you. And it was like 10 in the morning. It just got enough work.
I believe that.
Stop it when it's halfway done.
No, it was
Why is he microwaving this for 4 minutes?
Hey, it looks good. Stir this shit.
It's crazy that you haven't seen this video yet. This video's a classic.
I really wanted to do the other meat salad video where he spills baked bean juice on his hand and then says, "This is unnecessary shit, Bush."
And it's done usually by now, but
I'm so
if you make
proud.
more than this, you definitely want to put in for longer.
Why?
This has been your boy, Airsoft Fatty, signing off.
All right.
Bugs are back.
And finally, we've got Mr. Ordinary Sausage.
This is one where Jared threw it on once. He streamed it in the VC without telling me, and I didn't know that he had changed things in the stream for a sec because I was zoned out. And then when I came back to the stream, I almost had a panic attack. Which means it's good.
Do you know what balut is? Cammy knows what balut
I know
is.
it. I love Balut. I'm not Cammy, but I know it.
And so each one of these bad boys contains one little baby duck inside of it. You know, some of these episodes are robbing me of my humanity.
He has a wife.
And kids.
Oh my God. This is horrifying. Oh God, there it is. Why did I agree to do this episode? And why did I buy so many eggs? I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do this episode anymore. Not right now. I'm going through something. These things were close to being born. Golly, you know what? We're just gonna skip right ahead to where all these are peeled. Stay in school, kids. Oh, got it clicking. If you're still with me by this point, here's your warning. It's gonna get even more graphic.
I watched that whole video with Jared, and I genuinely did almost vomit it, which means it was a very good video, and I would watch it again.
So, this got me thinking. What are some other alignment charts I could do? So here we have the alignment charts for clouds. So not much to really say here. It's serial cumulus, like, yeah, they're a little chaotic. They kind of do whatever the fuck they want up there. But then these Kelvin Helmholtz, that's badass. Kayla showed me the Kelvin Helmholtz and the Mamatis ones this morning. And then I took another rip from the pen, and I found the rest of them. Shelf clouds are crazy, but I'm also kind of like low-key scared of them, because it kind of reminds, like, is it a Derico? Is this about to be a crazy event? Cumulus is like, I mean, shit, we all drew cumulus clouds. That's the most cloud-ass cloud you're ever going to see. I don't know if it's called asperitas or otherwise, but that's fucking freaky.
Asperitas.
Lenticular's cool, fall streak is cool, polar stratospheric may look cool, but they're actually pretty bad because they provide like a layer for the UV rays to bounce back into the ozone, so it basically double bakes the ozone. Not great, but they look cool, and there's a Melody ESP album called Hypernatural that's really fucking good, and if you like electronic music, you should listen to it, and it kind of looks like that. Next slide.
It's like the Tame Impala occurrence of clouds.
We're doing part 2 of the car PowerPoint, so we're talking specifically about hatchbacks. Now, this is going off vibes of the car, not necessarily the drivers. Except for in the case of the Mazda 3, I found that's the hatchback with the least reported accidents as of 2024. Can't speak for the rest of them because, again, I was a little bit zooted off the pen, and 1 cars out of 9 was like, that was a C grade. The Holden Barina, I think that's GM. They had bought Holden out in Australia, and they were basically making GM cars. I think that's like the Aveo.
It's
the Chevy Aveo. Yeah. But what GM basically did, and this is why GM's a great company, I'm looking right at you, they like to buy other properties up, and then when shit's not looking good, those are the first properties they sell. Rest in peace Pontiac, rest in peace Holden, rest in peace the Oldsmobile, soon to be rest in peace fucking Buick. So fuck GM, the bright drop units look like shit, the way they run their management shit, they're gonna get all wiped out with AI anyways. The Fiat 500. This car is too fast. That's it. The Daihatsu Charade, this car is ridiculous. And if I've learned one thing from Dank Pods, it's that you could fuck that car 7 ways from Sunday and it's still gonna run. That's crazy.
Did he put Pepsi in it?
He put Pepsi in the radiator, and he put eggnog in the Golf, I think. But still. Oh no, he put Nutella in the oil. That's what he did. He put Nutella in the oil and Pepsi in the radiator. The radiator still worked. he had to like drain the oil, the Nutella out, whatever. The Golf MK2 just looks fucking cool, so that's like the most hatchback of hatchbacks. Kind of the same as with Cumulus Clouds. Then the Fiat Bravo looks crazy. I wanted to put the Multipla in here, but it turns out the Multipla is not a hatchback. It's a van. It still looks goofy as fuck though. Then we got the Honda Civic hatchback. This is just evil, and this is kind of where, again, it's back to like the Mazda 3 is like, if anyone's driving a Honda Civic hatchback, they're also riding my ass, and so I'm not a fan of that. Kia Soul, ever since being a past Kia Soul driver, I gotta admit, not the greatest. And then Mini Cooper, fuck yourself.
Did you pull the Kia Soul parked out front of
The Sarasota Ford.
On purpose?
Now, is that where the 9/11 hijackers bought the planes?
No, it's where they rented the Kias to get to the flight school. Moving on, we've got Alan Keyes.
Yes! Oh my god, yes!
This one is all thanks to Ben, because while I was still ripped off the Benjamin, I was laughing at all the different faces of Alan Keyes I was looking at.
So we need to pause for a sec just to explain what was going on. So we had this huge guest speaker at my work the other day who's this he's like the Eric Clapton of like neonatal medicine. And so naturally I didn't fucking listen to a single thing he said and was on my phone the whole time. And it was like a big enough deal that we had like doctors coming in from around the like region just to see this guy talk, and I was just like, fuck it. And I was like on my phone, and I was looking at the Wikipedia page for Sleep Now in the Fire by Rage Against the Machine, and I was reading about the music, or about the song and the music video, and at one point they mentioned how Rage Against the Machine had played a set outside of an Alan Keyes presidential rally for his 2000 presidential campaign, and Alan Keyes is dumb enough that he didn't realize that they were protesting against him and thought that it was just a band, they're having fun. So he fucking jumped in the mosh pit, and there's a photo of him crowd surfing, looking like he's having a great time. And then while I was telling this to Jared while I was driving around yesterday, going through roundabouts at like 10:30 at night in my Honda Civic, I out loud went, oh my fucking god, I just realized his name is Alan Keyes. Like the Tool. And Jared was so high that after there was like a second or two of silence, he goes, oh my god, I thought you were talking about the band. And I was like... Anyway.
But I'm upset because like no one's mentioned anything about the surprise detail I put on the slide. Can you see it? Do you know what the surprise detail is?
I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
What am I looking at?
I mean, look at the last photo.
So we're going to take a short break. I do want to let you all know, though, there is a quiz at the end of this. And it has to do with some of the information that's presented to you already. So when we get there, it's okay. You don't have to pass it. There's no problem if you don't.
What the fuck?
But I want you to know that there is going to be a quiz.
Is it getting closer? Like, is it like slowly zooming
You sound insane.
It looks like it's slowly zooming in.
I'm not crazy,
but it's
dude.
not, and I really don't like it. Because I can tell it's not getting bigger.
I hate this.
I named this file Atlas Keys, and then I never used it to like hold anything up, so there was no reason to call it Atlas Keys. I just wanted to share that.
Well, it's holding up this moment.
It's definitely holding up the presentation.
It's okay to take a breather, you know, we're chilling. Moving on, so we got Elden Ring armor sets. I've been playing Elden Ring again and just kind of like hunting for drip. You gotta get the Elden drip. I'm not gonna say like too much about this slide because there's not really much to be said. I mean, it's like just Elden Ring armor.
Why does the gold mask out his wiener out?
Moving on, we've got and Seraphorm. So this is waterfowl. Kind of cool, except for two of these birds because they're actually invasive species to Michigan. But we got mallards. Mallards kick ass. I like that's always just like the two of them. It's sweet. I like that. Mandarin duck looks cool, but it's actually not good if we see that because that's one of the invasive species. Then we got the spur-winged goose. This is actually in Africa, so if one of these did come over here and then began to populate, that would be an invasive species. Didn't know there was a group of birds called screamers until this morning. That was cool finding that out. They make these really interesting sounds. I should have put a clip like linked to that one so we could listen to it. But I'm also hunting for the Machine Girl song that samples the Northern Screamer because I'm convinced I've heard it before. Wood duck, it's cool. It's a very duck-looking duck. And then we got the mute swan. This is the other one that's an invasive species. If you see the black bill on it, that's not the mute swan, but if it's got an orange bill, that's an invasive species. And the, what's the national hunting, the DNR?
Yeah.
They should let you shoot it with 10 gauge. Gray leg goose. These guys are cool. I like them, but they're geese, and geese are inherently evil, so that extends over to the snow goose. I feel like that one's gonna be more of a pussy. If it was like a couple of the gray legs and the snow goose, like the snow is gonna run away first, but the gray legs might kind of posture up, just based on like, you know, authority. And then Canada goose, fuck Canada goose. I mean, just truly fuck Canada goose. They should let us just like, I feel like we'd have less gun violence if you were allowed to just shoot Canada geese. Because then you'd be able to get that like that impulse out, and then you'd feel like you're not wasting money on buying bullets currently. Now we got Elden Ring bosses.
How much more do you have?
This is the last one. So we got
hate my presentation.
Millennia, Blade of Mikola. I mean, this is kind of like, it's based on vibe, but also just like fairness in fight. So like the guys on the left, they're going to be increasingly harder. So that's like, you know, good to evil. I guess Radagon's easier than whatever. And then going away from it, they're just kind of, they have a lot of extra moves that will catch you off guard, and it's not entirely fun to fight, except for the middle one on the right. That one's actually kind of a bitch, but it can fuck you up. So now we're going to move on to the quiz. What was the name of the recipe that Future Canoe cooked?
Oh, so that was a struggle meal recipe, and it was the goldfish
Goldfish
soup.
orange juice. He
Yeah,
didn't cook.
goldfish orange juice cereal.
GF/OJ?
Yeah, but you remember what the name of it was?
GF/OJ.
Yeah, wasn't that
It
what
was
on
a
the
struggle.
list?
It was a struggle.
It was called Murder Attempts. Which clouds were in the neutral good position?
Cumulus.
It was a shelf cloud, wasn't it?
No,
It was the Kelvin Helmholtz.
Kelvin.
Which was the only car make to appear twice in the hatchback slide?
Honda. No.
It's
GM.
Fiat.
Fiat? Oh, yeah.
Who was the obscured individual on the Allen Keys slide?
Allen Keys.
I could tell you as a woman, I can't tell you much else.
Israel Keys.
Oh, it was Israel Keys!
Which armor set was in the neutral
He killed
chaotic
women.
position?
A lot of them.
The mushroom set. And aside from the Canada geese, which two of the aceniforms, anseriforms are considered invasive in Michigan?
Is it
Mandarin
And the mute swan.
Hey, we got one of them right. Let's go.
Know some of these stories.
You might. All right. So today we're going to be talking about things that occurred at my first year as a full-time teacher. So, for some context, if you did not already know, last year I got my first full-time teaching job. It was at Crescent Academy Charter School, which is in Southfield, which, if you don't know the area, means that I was one of 3 white people in the entire building.
There are Jews in South.
Not this school.
Well, they're also not white, so.
Anyway, I was teaching ELA, so English Language Arts, for 8th, 9th, and 10th grade students. And considering that the school had 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th grades, I was teaching over half the population at the school, so go me. It was a pretty small school, so like I think that I counted like 150-ish students total. So it was still, it's still like 90 plus students I was teaching. But yeah. Now, it would be very easy for me to just tell stories and that'd be nice and all, but where's the fun in that? So instead, I made a game show. So here's how to play. Each of the slides is going to describe one thing that may or may not have happened during this past year as a full-time teacher. You are all going to decide whether it was real or fake. You can give like a thumbs up or a thumbs down if that helps you decide. There are going to be 10 questions. Keep track of how many that you get right. And if there is a tie at the end, there is a tiebreaker question if needed. All right, are we ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Question 1. This one's a pretty easy one. I was given the N-word pass multiple times by different students. I, of course, never used it. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Are we ready? We're good? That is true. That is true. That was a pretty easy one. And of course, I never used it, never plan on using it. Despite the fact that apparently gingers are black people, according to...
You could use it tonight.
No. Especially not when we're being recorded. Alright, question 2. A group of students happily volunteered to read out loud the part of the book that said... do I have permission?
Yeah, say it.
To read aloud the part of the book that said faggot. When it got to that part, they yelled the word and didn't participate for the rest of class. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Did this happen or not? Alright, this is true. This did happen. This, of course, also occurred when that same book had the N-word, which, wasn't that big of a deal for them.
That was actually the boring part for them.
Yeah, that was the boring part for them. Anyway, question 3. After the election, a student called ICE on another student and her mom, who happened to be the school secretary.
Holy shit.
Did this happen or not?
God, man, that is a tough one.
This is false.
Thank God.
This did not happen. The school secretary is Mexican, and she did have a student at the school last year. And there were definitely jokes and threats about ICE being called, but nothing ever actually happened.
Doesn't she have students at the school every year?
Anyway, question 4. A student in ISS, in school suspension, sent me a direct email threatening me because he felt I hadn't put in his missing work. Did this happen or not? Alright. This did happen. This very much did happen. And here it is! Mr. Shed, this about my 100th time asking you to fix that grade, and if you know I'm not in the class, you should already exclude me. I've been patient, but y'all are pushing my buttons, so I will and can cut up if I need to about a grade, so either you fix it or it's going to be a problem.
How old is the kid that sent
This is 8th grade.
So he's
13 or 14 or so,
Well,
and obviously he should have been paying more attention in my class because that is a run-on and a half.
It doesn't help that he's like 19 as well.
Yeah. Question 5. On an essay about whether or not AI should be allowed in school, a student used AI.
It's believable, though.
100%.
Of course it happened. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? What I ended up doing was I made him, I obviously failed him. Wasn't going to do that. I made him write a letter to me explaining why this was a bad idea. And instead of giving him a 0, I gave him a 50%. So still failing, but easier to get back from. Question 6. A student got caught using the school computers to watch Newgrounds porn during class.
Yeah. Ask me how.
Alright, this is false. This did, however, happen to me when I was a substitute at Kettering.
See, that's where the confusion was, because that was the kid that had the best friend with cancer. That,
Yes.
That
Yeah.
disappeared.
So not in Southfield, Waterford.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Newgrounds is a very white person thing.
Yes, that should have tipped you off.
Yeah.
Alright, question 7. 2 students fought in the bathroom during class, then fought again 20 minutes later because one of them didn't follow the rules the first time. This happened. It's definitely happened. The rules were like it had to be like chest shots only or something like that, and one of them got punched in the jaw or something like that, and they came back to my classroom, and they were like, "Hey, can we go back to the bathroom?" And because I had no idea what was going on, because I was trying to teach an actual lesson when this was all happening, I naively said yes. Forgetting that we didn't have any hall monitors at the school. Very, very fun. Charter schools, everybody.
I remember, like, you know the way that someone holds a cup of whiskey when they're, like, really having a bad day in movies and they take a sip? We were at National Coney Island, and this motherfucker was telling me the story, and he picks up the ketchup for his, like, his hot dogs and fries, and just sits there and just... and then, like, he's fucking Lost in Translation at the bar, like...
Anyway, question 8. A student was caught using his school email to plan to have sex with a girl during school hours. The principal showed up instead.
I want this to be true.
This happened. So an incident happened with a different student. He was, like, related to that girl. And we caught, had to confiscate the email and look through it, and it was like, oh, hey, this is, like, setting up for sex. You know what would be really funny? So, when the time that they were going to do it happened, instead the principal just walked in. It's like, hey, how you doing, buddy? Oh, man.
Prince, get out of here.
Question 9. A student had a seizure in the middle of my class, and I had to lead the rest of the students to a different room while the ambulances arrived. Alright, this one is also false, but it, once again, was something that did happen to me at Kettering. And I was subbing for a special ed class, and one of the kids had a seizure while I was trying to teach one of the other students long division, I think it was. I was very fortunate that the parapros were there to help me guide the rest of the students and to make the call to get the meds and the ambulances and all that, and everything ended up fine. But, yeah. Anyway, question 10. A student who swung her Stanley water bottle at another student, which gave that student a severe concussion which kept her out of school for months, was not expelled. The student who swung the water bottle was not expelled.
Why'd you lock eyes with me there?
Because I told you all these stories.
And I still didn't get all of them.
That's
right.
true. This one's true. This one is true. Now, to be clear, while the student wasn't expelled, she never showed up to class again.
What?
She was effectively expelled. Now, she did show up to school a couple times, but she never entered my class again. She was, however, assigned every single assignment. Did she do any of them? No. She did one, I think. But, yeah. This was a fun incident. This was the first time I had to break up a fight. Very, very fun. Yeah. Alright, so, count up your scores. How many we got?
Like 6.
8.
6. 7. 6.
Alright, our winner and the birthday boy. Congratulations. Hey, just for the fun of it, who wants to do the tiebreaker question?
Yeah.
Alright, first person to answer this correctly wins. Ready?
True.
What's the name of the school I worked at?
Crescent Academy in Southfield.
Crescent Academy in Southfield. Thank you very much. There is its logo. Alright, thank you very much, everybody.
Alright, gang.
Does that say 66 slides? Haha.
Shut up. Trust me, it's not going to be as bad as you think. Haha. So, for those that have never seen my presentations before, I always try to go with something funny, but still academic and educational. Ultimately, my goal is that you guys will come out better and more well-informed people than you were before. And previously, we've touched on such exciting topics as schizophrenia and gay pornography. And so I figured we would go into my third big hobby outside of medicine, which is understanding cults and new religious groups. And so this is my my lecture from a series that I've been working on. And today's lecture is Saints of the Handcart, which is an introduction to Mormon theology and the businesses that you don't realize believe in it. Again, I'm Dr. Parker Anderson. You guys can email me later if you have any questions. So the objectives for today's lecture is to understand the creations and foundations of the Latter-day Saint movement, which is what we would call Mormonism, understand the basic theological beliefs of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, be able to compare and contrast the differences between mainstream Christian theology and Latter-day Saint theology, identify the major businesses and business sectors associated with the Latter-day Saints movement, and be able to comfortably infer whether or not a business is associated with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So, part 1, an introduction to Mormonism. So the foundations of Mormonism, which starts with a man named Joseph Smith. He was an American-born religious and political leader, born in 1805 in Vermont, who would later go on to found the LDS Church, or Latter-day Saints Church, and the Mormon movement. As a side note, I will be using LDS and Mormon interchangeably, though they are not necessarily the same thing. We're not sure where the term Mormon actually came from. They think it actually came from a drowning victim where they weren't quite sure what his name was, so they mixed together two names of two potential people they thought it could be, and Joseph Smith had overheard this and used that when he was writing the Book of Mormon to be one of the names of the characters. But they go by the term Latter-day Saints. That is what they'll properly call themselves, because they believe they were living in the latter days, so close to the end times. They tried to use Mormon a while ago, though they view it as a slur. The mainstream LDS Church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. There are several offshoot churches of Mormonism that are more or less fundamentalist, but the big kahuna there is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is the original one. They had an ad campaign a couple years ago called I Am a Mormon, and then they really quickly scrapped it because they were like, no, we still think this is a naughty word for us. Like I said, born in 1805 to a family in Vermont with deep ties to esoteric folk magic and colonialism. Early settlers of the Americas, the Smiths, and they were really into owning occult and magic objects, many of which they had grave robbed from indigenous peoples, because of course, where the fuck else are you gonna get those items? They didn't exactly have like witch shops where like a divorced woman who took like her half of like the alimony for the month and decided to open a stand at the flea market. Like, they didn't have that. And his childhood and early adulthood overlapped with this thing called the Second Great Awakening. Are we aware of what this is?
No.
So there was the First Great Awakening, which, as you know, America proper, when it was founded off of some, like, basically Joe Rogan podcast-style discussions that a bunch of drunk 18-year-olds had at bars all across Boston and Philly and shit like that. But then the actual people living in America were fucking lunatics. And they were all people that came here because they wanted to be little religious freaks and do their own shit. So there was the First Great Awakening, which was like the first Christian revivalist movement where all these weird-ass sects came up. The Second Great Awakening happened a little bit later and was the same thing. And this is where you get Christian Science, Seventh-day Adventism, whatever the fuck the Hallmark Channel has going on, and then eventually Mormonism. The fun fact about Joseph Smith is that we're not quite sure exactly. For a long time, we weren't quite sure exactly what he looked like, and so there were a couple different depictions. This one on the left is the most famous depiction. The one on the right is the second most famous depiction. But for a long time, we had an okay idea of what we thought he looked like from these pictures. Here are two other really common ones. To quote Storm, the one on the right, he looks a bit like a fag. But like, these are other real common ones that are sanctioned by the church. But again, we weren't sure how accurate these were. There are some more accurate depictions like this one. And in 2022, a really interesting thing happened, which was a woman who was from an old money Mormon family. And when I say old money, I don't mean literal old money like you would... Stop it! Like you would for... The cats are fighting, viewers. Like you would for like a Protestant like old money family. I mean like they were a family that was affiliated with early Mormonism. She had found this like lockbox or locket or something that was just in like the family heirlooms when she was moving stuff out of one of her like old relatives that had died, like out of their place. And she opened it and... Oh my god, we got the first real verified picture of Joseph Smith. Okay. I forgot I put that in there, and that's good because I really need to give you guys a bumper for this. I really need to give you guys just.
Please tell me.
Oh my god!
Yo. Dude, he looks like fucking Gray Man.
He had a fucking 13-year-old wife in this photo. By the way.
Where is she? I don't see her.
She's doing her own shit. I think she's under the table.
She's the one holding the camera.
Yeah. But yeah, look at those eyes, dude. Thousand Island stare. This brings us to our first break time, because I ended up finding out about a thing called DesNat through all of this. Initially from this image. But it's short for Deseret nationalism. So Deseret was the original planned state that was going to be where Utah was, until the government was like, you can't have polygamy. Like, if you want to be a state, you have to get rid of polygamy. And Brigham Young was like, I got a revelation from God that we can't have polygamy. God doesn't want that. Magical, I know. But basically, Deseret is a really common term you'll hear used to describe like Mormon states, and the honeybee is their symbol, and then below that is literally just the symbol of fascism, of like classical Italian fascism, the kind that Mussolini pioneered. But it's an accelerationist, far-right nationalist Mormon movement, which is that's maybe the third time that sentence has ever been said. And it reimagines the state of Deseret, which was the area, what they referred to as the territory that is now Utah, as a white ethno-state. Seeks outlawing pornography, LGBTQ rights, apostasy, etc. And of course they're fucking pro-polygamy, because why wouldn't they be?
Dude, poly people are so fucking greedy. I swear to God.
And I know what you're thinking. Why do they all look like that, right? With poly people? Well, my question is, why do white nationalist memes and shit always look like that? Like, it's incredible. I was doing this at work, by the way. I was looking at these images and putting them on this PowerPoint at work. Like, there were like small inner city black kids walking by waiting to get like their flu shots or whatever, and I'm over here looking up like blood atonement. So this guy got outed as being like a really important leader in the movement, and a really common thing that you'll see that he has here is this is the flag of Deseret, and then these cross knives are like a symbol that they use, and of course he's a little fucking freak. And then I don't know why they always do this type of shit, like, I'm the Chad and I've re-envisioned you as smelling poor. I don't know why they do that. But it's like a thing they do. Blood atonement is just a term in Mormonism that all you really need to this is that guy, by the way. Like, this is that guy from that last image. All that you need to know, like, that's literally his Twitter account. All that you need to know is that, like, blood atonement is basically paying for sins by killing a sinner. And it's a thing that they talk about in early Mormonism. And you can see he's got the little beehive pin on. And it's crazy because these are like old school Mormon memes. Like, this is the normal memes you would see from a Mormon. Reformed Egyptian was the fake language that Joseph Smith used when he was trying to peddle his books to an Egyptian academic to prove that they were written in ancient Egyptian. They should invent a holy land that's not in the Middle East. People refer to Mormonism as desert Islam. And it's crazy because Islam's already in a desert. But they'll also refer to it as American Islam, or Islam for white folk. And I literally read 4 fucking books for this presentation, and I have to say I do agree. So returning to our original topic, this timeline. So he founds the church in 1830 after he claimed to receive the Book of Mormon from the angel Moroni via these gold plates. He used a seer stone, which I thought initially would have been like a long, thin, like clear stone that he would have put over the pages. No, he fucking throws these plates that this angel who shows up and he's like, hey, how you doing? So like gives him the plates, he throws them in a hat, throws the seer stone in the hat and like next to the plates, and then when he closes his face around it, it like glows in the dark, and when it does that, it makes the plates readable, but they were written in Reformed Egyptian. They started in New York, of course. This is some Bushwick, Brooklyn shit. But after mounting pressure from neighbors, moved to Ohio. And then they got ran out of Ohio. Kirtland, Ohio was where the first official Mormon temple was. They got ran out of Kirtland, Ohio to the planned city of Nauvoo, Illinois, which I'm about to talk about in a sec. I went to school for medical school maybe an hour and a half away from Nauvoo, and there were a lot of Mormon students at my school, and a lot of them would very excitedly tell the non-Mormon students about how they went to Nauvoo, and I was the only one that understood why they cared at all, and no one but them had ever heard of it. I only knew about it because I'm a little freak bitch. But, like, Nauvoo is the fucking strangest place. And they literally got kicked out of Nauvoo. They got kicked out of a town that only exists because of them. He, like, bought the land and incorporated it. It was a different town, and then he bought the land and took it over, basically, and made it. And they got run out of it! Like, that's crazy, dude. This is Nauvoo. It's very strange looking. There's a Mormon temple with the angel Moroni on top blowing the trumpet for the final days. It's got your very classic methamphetamine / fentanyl vibe of downtowns that you see in, like, small rural Midwest places. Greg Cromer, aerial photography, he really needed you to know. There was lots of growth under Joseph, despite the frequent movement. There's heavy anti-Mormon sentiment, though. He was jailed in Illinois for being an annoying dick, basically, and getting in everyone's way. And he was rightfully killed by an anti-Mormon mob while he was in jail. That's his gravestone, as well as one of his wives and one of his friends, maybe also a wife, who knows. But that's in Nauvoo, Illinois, as well. And then the church gets taken over by a young man by the name of Brigham Young, who expanded westward to the territory that would become Utah. This rapid expansion included a bunch of new cities and universities and a lot of new followers. This motherfucker had some crazy-ass quotes. I'm so excited, gang. So in response to another man threatening his political career, he said, "If you interfere with any of my dictation in the elections, it will be the last. You are shitting in my dish and I will lick it out in you too." And when I told that to Storm the other day while I was running through this, he just goes, "That's not even like an insult. That sounds like fun." While teaching about the Mormon value of charity, you can get rid of more Indians with a sack of flour than a keg of gunpowder. Does anyone know what that means? Because that has I had to look up what that meant, and it really ruined my day. I was still at work, by the way, and I was shaking my head so that people that walked by knew I disagreed with it. Does anyone know what that means?
No.
So the whites used to be given sacks of flour to distribute to the native peoples. And a tactic that the Mormons, as well as other people, would use would be to take a mortar and pestle, or just a mill, and break up glass, and then put it in the flour. That's what he's talking about there.
Jeez.
He has a university. And then in a publication he literally fucking wrote, Shall I tell you the law of God in regard to the African race? If a white man who belongs to the chosen seed mixes his blood with the seed of Cain, which is the term for black people genes, the penalty under the law of God is death on the spot. This will always be so.
Fucking hate Mormons.
And the Mormon church until the 1970s taught that being black meant you were inherently more evil than white people, but if you prayed hard enough, you could become good, in parentheses, white. We'll get there. So now on to basic Mormon theology. At its base, it consists of like classic WASP bullshit plus the Book of Mormon. Believes that the original Church of Jesus Christ has been restored on Earth via the LDS Church. They have weirdly a bunch of like psychedelic artwork. Like that's Christ in the cosmic throne room. We'll talk about what that is later. Believe in a living prophet that actively receives divine revelation from God, and that just happens to be the president of the church at any given time. And because this is an American religion that has a little bit more in common with like Scientology and like Om Shinrikyo, that like death cult that did the sarin gas in the Tokyo subways, it has more in common with them than with Protestant Christianity, actually. They do refer to whoever the president of the church is at the time as the president, in addition to whoever the president of the United States is. The thing, too, with that is that a lot of Mormon doctrine literally comes from these revelations that the prophet has. And so that was how they magically decided black people were okay, actually. And they recently had a revelation about LGBT people being able to like live good lives, but they still didn't say anything positive about it. There's like, LGBT people are humans, and we're like, I bet. And it has a very interesting interpretation of history and cosmology. Again, really weird ass psychedelic artwork. This looks like that one fucked up Iron Maiden album cover, the like Dance with Death. If you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
It looks like it's from the Wizard of Oz.
It does look like Wizard of Oz.
dude, crime slug.
This also looks like some AI generated shit.
It's weird because this image is from the late '90s.
I'm not rolling it out.
Basically, they believe that the soul starts in this thing called the first estate, which is the realm that souls exist in prior to conception. And you're in an amnesiac-like state once conception starts. So until you're like 2 or 3 or 4, whenever you start having memories. I should know that. I'm a child doctor. Life on Earth starts the second estate. That's when you start knowing shit again. And actions made on the second estate put someone in one of 3 pathways: the straight and narrow way, the broad way, or the low way. And the way I know, and the way one ends up on, you could tell I was at work. The way one ends up on determines their afterlife. This is called the degrees of glory, and that already seems confusing, right? Don't worry, I've made it way simpler for you by giving you this fucking diagram with this classic 1950s artwork. And basically, in Mormonism, there's no real hell. Like, you can see the detour 1,000 years in hell, but like after that, you still get like an okay afterlife where you get to do shit. There's a ton of words and a baby with a big ass forehead. So again, you guys are thinking, wow, that's a little complicated. Don't worry, I've made it less complicated. Yeah, exactly. I know.
So Africa exists in the celestial plane?
Yeah. That was a bad one for it to get stuck on. But yeah, so basically, the 3 kingdoms, you have the celestial kingdom, which is the highest degree of glory, whites only, classically. But now black people can too. They just have to pray and work really hard, and then they'll be able to ascend. Considered to have the brightness of the sun. Weirdly, they use the terms brightness or degrees, but more frequently it's brightness that they'll use. And the celestial kingdom has the brightness of the sun. Per Joseph Smith, a white stone is given to each of those who come to the celestial kingdom, whereon a new name is written, which no man knoweth, save that he shall receive it. Basically, what he's saying there is you're going to get a seer stone for more divine prophecy in the future. In the celestial kingdom. When you're in the celestial kingdom, you also get your own planet that you get to live on, and you get to have wives. You can only get your planet in the celestial kingdom if you had at least 2 wives in life. Now that only counts. Polygamy. Now that only counts if you were a Mormon before the revelation about polygamy. But every marriage that you have that occurs in the temple will be gifted back to you in the celestial kingdom. So if you're married to a bitch and she dies, and you had a temple marriage, and then you get remarried to a bitch and then you both die, you have both of those wives in the celestial kingdom and they won't fight. Smile. And this area is administered by God the Father. Weirdly, Mormons are Trinitarian non-Trinitarians. In LDS temples, they have rooms that are themed after each of the 3 kingdoms of the afterlife. So this is one of the celestial kingdom rooms.
Those all look like shit.
Yeah, I know, they're kind of weird, but what can you do?
All that window and no natural light.
Yeah, and those chairs are really uncomfortable to sit on, but they were super expensive somehow. So next is the terrestrial kingdom. This is inhabited by people that were, quote, blinded by the craftiness of men, or righteous non-believers. Someone is considered to have the brightness of the moon. These people can be preached to and accept LDS doctrine and ascend to the celestial kingdom above. I'll explain how that works in a little bit. This one's administered by Jesus Christ. So God the Father administers the first one. He administers the second one. The God the Father administers the first one. And the Holy Spirit administers the first one. The second one is Jesus Christ, but also the Holy Spirit can come there. And then the third one that we'll get to is just the Holy Spirit. So God can dwell down here. He just doesn't. He's vibes, and just goes somewhere else. So this is some examples of some terrestrial kingdom rooms at LDS temples. And they're almost always these big ass halls for some reason. Again, those little seats at the front in the second picture have to be super uncomfortable to sit on. And then the last one, the Celestial Kingdom. Basically, this one's inhabited by non-righteous non-believers. It's considered to have the brightness of the stars, which is weird because most stars are brighter than the sun objectively, which is, I think, fascinating.
The moon's brightness comes from the sun, too, so like the moon doesn't have any inherent brightness.
They didn't know that. They did, he didn't. People here will be servants of God, but, quote, where God and Christ dwell, they cannot come, worlds without end, which is why only the Holy Ghost can come here. And this is literally a made-up word that didn't exist prior to Mormonism. The word telestial didn't exist at all. The only word that even came close is really fascinating. It's a word in Greek that's used in the New Testament, and it's what Christ says on the cross after he gets crucified, right before he dies, which is telestai, which means it is completed. But that's also not a word in English, and he probably didn't know that. So he just came up with telestial as a combination of terrestrial and celestial. Like a dumbass, like he did with the name of his people. I like these rooms the best. I don't know why. Probably because they bear a striking resemblance to the room that made up the combination living room and dining room in my grandparents' home growing up. So the night, you can see the mural in the background, the night that my grandfather died, we all went back to his home and we raided his sock drawer where he kept all of his cash. And we used that to buy pizza. We ordered pizza and then we dressed up in his clothes and made fun of him.
Awesome.
He was a bastard. So, history according to Mormons starts with the Israelites, as you can see in that photo. They decide to sail to the Americas, and they split into two groups, fathered by two different men. One group is the Nephites, and one group is the Lamanites. There's years of war and conflict between these two groups, and the American Indians are the modern descendants of the Lamanites. Again, this is going to come back to haunt us in a sec with what I said there. So, back home, Jesus does his normal shit and dies. He comes to the Americas after he has his resurrection. The Nephites learn the gospel and become Mormons. The Lamanites don't. And they're the Native Americans, apparently. More on that in a sec. Garden of Eden is in Independence, Missouri.
Absolutely fucking not.
You know what's funny is I have been to Independence, Missouri, and I was literally gonna say the words, I've been to Independence, Missouri. Absolutely fucking not. So very convenient timing. So Jackson County, Missouri is where all that shit took place, and then somehow got whipped over to Europe. Tried using indigenous artifacts, often via grave robbing, to prove that this history was true. And you can see some Israelites right there. Can you guess which ones are the Nephites and the Lamanites?
Nephites on the left. Or on the left picture, Nephites on the left, Lamanites on the right.
Yeah, the white ones, you could say, are the Nephites. Weird coincidence, huh? Like, and all of this is like artwork that's been approved and sanctioned by the LDS Church and used in various publications from them. And, you know, like more Nephite, Lamanite stuff. This time I switched it, so you have the Lamanites on the left and the Nephites on the right. This is also a callback to my previous one that I did, if you remember that, my previous presentation. These pictures weirdly go hard as fuck, because you have Tom from accounting right here, like, crying in front of Christ. That's weird that he was just, like, there. Like, why is that man so Caucasian?
And this happened in Missouri?
Yeah, I know, dude. I know.
They got mountains in Missouri?
They
got
do.
palm trees in Missouri?
They have a place called Palmyra, which is named after Palmyra, which is an ancient site in, like, the cradle of civilization or whatever. But if you go to Missouri, it's Palmyra. It's how they say it.
Definitely look like on the very left. That's like Aztec or Incan architecture or something like that.
That's Missourian architecture. I lived there. I lived there for 2 years.
I mean, I know that there was a Missouri civilization.
There was a town, Miami, pronounced Miami. I lived near a place called spelled Edina, pronounced Edina. There was a place, Mexico, but it was pronounced
Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico. You know this shit. Mexico. there were a ton of fun little places like that with dumbass little names.
This is proof that white Americans have no original culture. They just borrow other cultures and then make it worse.
Yeah. Look at what we did to the Italians. So, it's just miscellaneous Mormon beliefs. This shit pisses me off. If black people work hard enough and are faithful, they'll be white in heaven. People in the Celestial Kingdom, which is that the lowest or the highest kingdom? Do we remember? Lowest. They don't have genitals. But you can fucking get pregnant in the other two kingdoms. No swimming on Sundays, which is real. The devil has dominion over the waters, so you don't swim on Sundays.
Adult swim day.
Dude, God is a resurrected human being that lives on a planet called Kolob. Has anyone here seen Battlestar Galactica?
No.
Okay, so there's a planet in Battlestar Galactica called Kobol that we'll come back to later. We won't physically go there.
Thank God.
But yeah, and surrogacy baptism of living children can help dead people move up in the degrees of glory. This was a huge issue like 10 or 20 years ago because they would literally do this thing. I know somebody, you know somebody that has done this. Icarus has done this where they take children and they have them stand in as surrogates and get baptized on behalf of dead people, oftentimes without the knowledge or consent of those families. So that they can take Mormon, they can take the gospel and accept it in the afterlife. Some of these people, and you'll understand where this controversy came from, include Anne Frank, multiple other people that died in the Holocaust, Adolf Hitler, some other famous dead people, Queen Elizabeth, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump. I know, right? You would think, but weirdly you can do it to living people too, even though it's for dead people. Literally entire concentration camps in World War II, they did it for. A lot of Jews. And the Jewish community was like, can you please stop doing this? And they were like, all right, we'll stop doing it. And then they shut the door and they're like, let's keep it moving, guys. Literally, my friend that did this said that he thought it was fun. He felt like he was helping out, and he would always do it because they would give them pizza afterwards.
Oh my God.
Part 2. The businesses that believe this shit. There's layers. We're doing an iceberg video, everyone.
Hell yeah.
So the first one is non-Mormon entities. So these are businesses that are not Mormon at all, and I threw them in here for a comedic device. You have Apple, Microsoft, Valve. I know, we're shocked to learn... What?
Valve.
Oh, hell yeah. We're shocked to learn that Xiaomi and Pottery Barn are not Mormon entities. The Jerusalem Post, Louis Vuitton, Bath & Body Works, Meta, normal stuff. But shockingly not Mormon. Layer 2. Could be Mormon, but it isn't. So you have Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joanne Fabrics. Those all are very Mormon adjacent to me.
Not Tom's of Maine.
Tom's of Maine is evangelical Christian, though. They are owned by right-wing evangelical Christians. Panera Bread feels like it should be Mormon. I don't know why. I don't know. The act of dipping my sandwich into my soup, it weirdly feels inherently Mormon, and I can't quite explain why.
It's the lemonade.
The lemonade that kills you.
Yeah, true.
There's like no caffeine in it. It's just enough sugar to make your heart
Have you been
explode.
inside of Panera lately? Don't they look like those rooms that he was showing us?
They do. Yeah, the redesigns they do. Putting cilantro on shit and acting like you're tough, like that's very Mormon. Forever 21 is also an evangelical Christian brand. I feel like it should be Mormon. Mary Kay, because it's a pyramid scheme. That we'll come back to that later. Claire's feels Mormon, even though you can get like a lobotomy and a circumcision there. And Cliff Bars weirdly feel Mormon to me too.
Yeah.
So layer 3 are your established Mormon companies. So So Delicious and Swig, are we familiar with these?
I know, so delicious.
Are you two familiar with these? So Mormons can't have A, coffee, B, tea, this is a question, C, lemonade, or D, alcohol.
E, all of the above.
They can have lemonade. So they can't have hot drinks or alcohol. They can have caffeine, they can't have hot drinks. And that was literally because Joseph Smith's wife didn't like how the areas where they were living and working were always fucking messy from people leaving coffee everywhere and coffee spilling everywhere. So they consider these things, they got a revelation from God that they were of the devil. And so Sodalicious and Swig are really, really big in Missouri. Well, they are big in Missouri because there's a fair Mormon population there. But they're huge in Utah. And what they do is they sell pop, but they do their own little twist on it. They do this thing called Dirty Coke. And what Dirty Coke is the original. It should be Dirty Sprite. Dirty Coke is the original, and what it is it's Diet Coke with lime, and you're like, okay, that's a normal drink. And French vanilla coffee creamer, and that's a drink there. And they make a bunch of them like that. Sodalicious has one called the Founder, and that's Diet Coke, lime, sugar-free vanilla, and sugar-free, and like coconut cream, because why not? They have a bunch of drinks like that. They have these drive-thrus, and you'll see these photos, like these aerial shots from drones of like Jeep Wranglers and like Chrysler Town and Countries going around and out, and there are people that literally go there multiple times a day, every day. Swig is one of their competitors. They also sell candy and like cookies and shit, because a weird thing is with Mormons is because they can't have tobacco, alcohol, or like anal sex, I guess. They have to like fill it with something, and they tend to fill it with sugar, interestingly. Yes.
With Black Rifle Coffee, I'm sure you're about to go over this. Is this like where they had a revelation, they made an exception for you can buy Black Rifle Coffee, or is it like Mormon owned but like Lamanite funded kind of thing?
The second one is closer.
Okay.
I was waiting for someone to point that out too, which is great. So that was founded in Utah, so that falls under the catch-all law in my opinion. However, ex-Mormon founded the company, funded largely by Mormon investing.
Okay.
Brigham Young University, as we talked about earlier. doTERRA, New Skin, and Unique. Any women in here know what those are?
Unfortunately.
What are they?
Pyramid schemes, MLMs.
Yeah, doTERRA is essential oils, Unique is makeup.
What's Young Living? It's essential oils.
IDK.
Yeah, it's essential oils.
Okay.
It's the original essential oil company. Yeah, pyramid schemes are weirdly big with Mormons. I can't imagine why a group of people that would believe in gullible, easy shit would fall for pyramid schemes. And fun fact, until the 1980s, MLMs referred to themselves as pyramid organizations until they started to fall under the pyramid scheme law, and then suddenly they lobbied Congress and changed things. Crumble Cookies, to no one's surprise. Think about all the sugar. Yeah, Crumble Cookie is owned and operated by Mormons. And they force Mormon doctrine very heavy on a lot of their franchisees sometimes. And then Wahoo Studios, who you may remember from the hit game for the Nintendo GameCube, the PS2, and the original Xbox, 007 Nightfire, which is a game I actually played as a kid and is kind of really good. And that was their first game they ever made. Talk about a cabal.
So did they get a pass?
Yeah, they can say the word faggot, I don't care. Layer 4. Wait, what? We're at that layer. So 1-800-CONTACTS is a Mormon-owned company. Sinclair Oil, who you guys might not know, because they used to be bigger in the 50s and 60s, and now they really only operate in the western half of the United States. There was one, there were a bunch of them in Missouri. There's one in the town that I went to med school in. Their logo is a dinosaur that's very cute. But like a whole fucking oil company. SNS Sansei Technology. I forgot what they make, but it was really interesting that they weren't a Japanese company, because you would think they would be.
Don't they make cell phones, like flip phones?
They make like I know they make telemedicine, telecommunication components. Silencer Co. Guess what they make?
No way.
They make that black metal album by that band Silencer. No, they make silencers for firearms. Ancestry.com is not directly Mormon owned, but it is incredibly well funded by the Mormon Church. The Mormon Church bankrolls Ancestry. Most of the database entries, Ancestry.com actually pays for from the Mormon Church. They buy them from the Mormon Church. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is actually one of the best genealogical services and like genealogic record keepers in the world, because everyone wants to tie back their relationship to Joseph Smith. And genealogy is considered like a really big hobby there, like as big as MLMs. Ivanti is a company that makes cybersecurity software. Battlestar Galactica was created by a Mormon. So remember earlier when I said the planet Kobol in that show?
Yeah.
Kolob is where they got the name for that from. The whole show is an allegory for Mormon theology. Skull Candy, the company that makes the headphones that we all thought were cool in the 6th grade, and the Polynesian Cultural Center.
Isn't St. Clair Oil where Large Marge picks up Pee-wee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love UHF. Do you guys hear that, by the way? Do you hear that? Sounds like it's time for another side tangent. Mitch, you might have seen this place, actually. This is the Polynesian Cultural Center. It's in Laie, Oahu, Hawaii. You would think it was Hawaiian, but it's owned by the LDS Church in partnership with BYU, who donated land from their Hawaii campus, which they have for some reason. It's one of the most frequently visited places in Hawaii by tourists. Over 700,000 people per year come here. It's made up of 8 simulated Polynesian villages that include a Hawaiian village, a Samoan village, an Aotearoan village. Aotearoa is the Maori word for New Zealand, and they will get very mad at you about mispronouncing it until they find out that you're not from New Zealand or Australia, and then they give you a pass. Fiji, Tahiti, Tonga, and then like 2 specialty villages that I couldn't find much information on their website. They have a bus service that will take visitors directly to the Hawaii LDS temple in Oahu, and it's closely related to the LDS Church's colonization of Tonga, which we'll talk about in a sec. There's the temple in Hawaii. Here's the Polynesian culture. I don't know who that dude is. I just found that picture, read the website the picture was from, and it just said that he was like a manager there. He's not dead. He's like alive and doing shit. I don't know why it's like that. But you can see there's like boat tours, and that's the Tongan village, and that behind I think is the Aotearoan village, if I remember correctly, or Fiji, one of them. But you can see there's a marketplace, there's a dining hall, there's the luau place, there's a second restaurant for some reason, Tonga, Tahiti, Fiji, and then there's basically all of these little canals that you go through. A fun fact is that the LDS Church has so heavily colonized Tonga, and it's a very common place for missionaries to get sent, that over 60% of Tonga identifies as Mormon, despite the population of Mormons there only being about 10% of the country. And the reason for that is just basically that in Tonga, they identify as being Mormon the same way that most people identify as being Catholic, which is to say they're like Creasters or whatever, but for Mormonism. You can see all of these deliciously brown men in the front here. And then up there is a really famous painting that they made of the LDS Church basically meeting famous Tongan like generals or something and like getting, I don't even remember. It was fucked up though. There's a really good YouTube video on this. It's like 30 or 45 minutes long. A lot of like, it's like a common place for people to get, I'm going to use the term drafted to, when they go to do their like 2-year mission thing. And they will learn a haka, and then they love doing the haka when they get back to like Utah to like as like a group bonding thing and to impress their friends that had to go to like Tijuana or to like Kirksville, Missouri. Did anyone catch what?
Did you hop to it?
Where's your gun at? Does anyone know the fucking weird thing about them wearing a haka when they're in Tonga?
That's in New Zealand.
That's a Maori thing, yeah. That's not a Tongan thing. That's a Maori thing. Which shows you how interested they are in Tonga and in Polynesian people. Layer 5. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. JetBlue Airways. As well as SkyWest Airways. Citigroup and American Express both have had multiple Mormons head the organization before and run it. Teleperformance USA. So anytime you have to talk to like, you have to talk over the telephone to get help with customer service. A lot of times that's done through Teleperformance USA, who outsources that and is a Mormon-run business. Black & Decker, Dell Computers for a similar reason to American Express and Citigroup, and Marriott Hotels International was owned and founded by a Mormon family. We still have a couple layers, by the way. Layer 6 is the Cabal. Ensign Peak Advisors. They're a company that invests heavily in Northrop Grumman, the the defense contractor. Yeah, so they invest heavily in defense contracting companies. Western Precision, New Era Manufacturing, Utah Tool and Die, and Huntsman Chemical are all defense contractors. And they're non-insignificant ones. So basically, a large portion of U.S. defense contracting money comes from the LDS Church or is produced as a result of LDS-owned and operated organizations. And when I say LDS-owned and operated, of course, as I've mentioned before, I don't just directly mean the LDS Church. I do also mean people that are members of the LDS Church and are therefore paying back into the service. I have another layer. You guys are going to fucking hate this one. This is the last layer. Alright. How many people here know Carson, aka Will? Cool. Great. I had heard a rumor about this, and then he offhandedly was telling me a story and accidentally confirmed it. Because I had said, hey, do you ever meet somebody and they seem so cool to you, and then you find out that they're fucking Mormon? And he said... Oh, he started the story by going, yeah, I remember when I was working at the NSA. So the NSA, the FBI, and the CIA target Mormons for recruitment. Do we have any idea why they do that?
People who are easily taught to believe stupid bullshit.
That's one of the reasons.
They're white nationalists.
Oh, you're so close. No, so they believe wacky shit at face value. They're very family oriented, so they're not willing to do stuff that will endanger their family. They blend in really well because they're literally the NPC Wojak as human beings. They don't drink, smoke, or do drugs, so it's difficult to get them intoxicated to get them in a compromising position. And they're so heavily involved with the church outside of work that they're not going to have time to have like affairs and stuff like that. And the stability that comes with their family life prevents them from being easily seduced by like those female spies or male spies that's whole job is to have sex with you to get information from you. So think about that, dude. Like Timothy Leary was getting diddled in a basement on LSD by somebody who was probably having his payroll done by a Mormon who was just sitting in a corner pushing buttons all day and then going home and being like, honey, I'm home, let's have the green jello. Green jello is a fun Mormon food. Oh my fucking god. The Mormons control the fucking god. And we were complaining about the Jews the whole time? It's always the Irish and it's always the fucking Mormons. But oh my fucking god. Okay. I want you guys to really think about this for a sec. I need you guys to think about this for a second. Like, guys. And who connects all of these dots?
Joseph Smith.
The Jews are the scapegoat for the Mormon. Here's some of the resources I use, but not all of them.
Wow, that was awesome.
Thank you. I read these books too.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, this is your best work.
Thank you. It's not my funniest, but it is my best. My funniest was still the gay porn one.
Alright, everyone take a book and a piece of paper and a pencil. Because you're going to need to take score. Because we got a game.
Can I take score on my phone?
You can do whatever you want.
Hell yeah, I'm going to take score on my phone.
Can I take score using my clay tablet?
Your Sears
Your
stone?
chisel.
Yeah.
You guys are definitely moving your back to your phone. Is that going to be comfortable? Okay.
Oh,
This book's probably Mormon.
Probably 100 cookies. There's a page in that book where the person has like a playlist of songs that they like.
Are they all
It's like baking
awful?
music. Oh, you can go look. It's towards the back. I don't remember.
Everybody say sausage. Keep it going.
Let's sausage.
It's like that one fucked up TikTok song was like bacon, egg, and cheese, just over and over again, but that's the playlist.
Music to bake
Dude, me when I'm in a hot car.
Music to bacon.
We've got the Decca Singles by Louis Armstrong, Jazz in Paris by Chet Baker. Fuck me.
Miles Davis, Ella Fitzgerald.
Who is in Paris?
Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole. This list sucks.
I don't know. I like some of this stuff actually.
I like Ella. That's it.
Okay. Ariel, you can grab a piece of paper and a pencil and a book if you want something to write on. Because I'm gonna ask you to take your score because I got a little game.
I'm gonna look at her paper after. It's gonna be like that. Yo, what the? My coworker's losing his fucking mind image where he's just, where it's like just the draw that dude's coworker's just drawing all the horrific faces.
Alright, so basically I went on eBay and sorted the listings by completed items and then looked through and looked up a bunch of different collectibles just to see, you know, what's valuable to people. So I have a couple different types of things. We have these two. I'm going to start with Little's Pet Shop. Alright, one of these is worth a lot of money, I guess, in this realm, and one of them is just kind of like mid-price.
So
And
we
we're
guess
gonna
the price of it.
we're gonna guess which one is the expensive one.
Yellow. Are we supposed to say it out loud or write it down?
You know, I didn't really think about that. Say it out loud if it helps you. Who thinks the hippo?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, who thinks
Actually,
the
I'm
cat?
changing my vote to the hippo just because of the number of likes on it, or the number of watches.
It's
Okay.
still in its original packaging too. It looks
I
like.
only know about the specific tiger one.
All right, so if you know, okay, let's reveal.
Oh my god.
That
It was the
about my
hippo.
ballpark. Yikes.
I will also ask that if you do happen to know the answer to the rest of these, just keep it to yourself because it just doesn't make for very good conversation, honestly.
Wait, what should we have marked down?
All right, so if you guessed correctly and you guessed the hippo, you get a point. If you did not, you get nothing. All right, we have two VHSs. We have Nightmare on Elm Street and Back to the Future. The Nightmare on Elm Street is graded 9.4, and Back to the Future is a 10 out of 10, and it's autographed by Michael J. Fox.
Okay, but can I ask who the grading companies are?
This one is
CGC
CGC,
for
Universal, and this other one is IGS.
Okay.
I honestly didn't do a terrible amount of research for all of these just because I had, you know,
I was just wondering if
a
that's the amount
quantity.
of questions that I'm allowed to ask.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
All right. Do we think we got it?
Yeah.
All right. Who thinks it's Nightmare on Elm Street is more valuable? All right. So then you guys all think Back to the Future?
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
It was the
Nightmare on
grading
Elm
was
Street.
9.4 instead of like people be like it's a perfect 10, but like if it's a 9.4, that means they know the things with it. Also, the fact that it has a watermark on it tells me that it's going to be more valuable because that means it's a rare variant of the original.
Have you looked into how grading
Yeah, you know
works?
your stuff.
I do know a little bit about grading.
It's just like completely arbitrary. Like,
Yeah.
Anyone can just grade anything.
Yeah, God, it just
Yeah,
this feels
Yeah.
like a 9.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to grade it a 9.4 means they don't want it to sound perfect because like they don't want to get sued, which would imply to me it's a higher value.
But you could just say it's a 10 out of 10, and it could
See,
actually
I thought the
pass it
autograph
off.
on Back to the Future was going to bump the price up.
He has Parkinson's. Anything could be his autograph. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Also, I feel like Back to the Future sold way more copies than Nightmare on Elm Street.
All right, our next item.
Oh fuck me.
Okay, so I want you to think about how much this would be, and I'm gonna give a price, and you're gonna say if you think it's over or under. All right, so I'm gonna say $500. Do you think that's over or under for a brand new Guitar Hero bundle in the box?
Harvey, Louisiana.
It's gotta be over.
I'm gonna say it's about that amount, roughly. Give or take like $50 to $100.
That's not an option. You gotta pick one.
Okay, I'm gonna say slightly under.
All right,
I'm gonna
under.
say over because they've only got 230. Is that reviews or items sold?
That's items sold.
Which seems like a pretty low number considering the previous ones were in the tens of thousands. So they probably priced their shit way too high and then not that many people buy from them.
All right, everyone got their answer?
Damn.
Just $300. Not that crazy. I thought they were gonna be more, honestly.
The twisted mind of a white boy once again.
Is everyone familiar with the animation cells?
I'm sorry. Animation cell?
What?
Just like I'm picturing like an incel that just like does animation. yeah, dude. Just like
Animating cell?
I'm a frames per second maxing animation.
I'm cartoon pills.
Yeah, cartoon. Yeah, exactly, dude.
Okay, then we have these two from SpongeBob. We have Pickles, and then Squidward in the future box. Which one do you think is worth more? Or sold for more?
Do we know when these were sold?
These were sold. All of these items were sold like pretty recently.
Okay.
Just in general, like in the last couple months.
Squidward. Because it's hand
Squidward?
numbered. And you can see like
He's kind of.
Yeah, he's also a little fruity. That wasn't what I meant, but yeah.
It also seems like it's one of those things where it's like he's missing his bottom half of his tentacles. Like maybe the error would be more interesting to people.
I'm not sure if it's an error or if they just needed to leave that space open because he was gonna walk.
Could be an in-between frame.
All right, who thinks it is Squidward? Okay. Reveal. It was Squidward. That one had to get 51% knocked off to sell.
How did Mr. Animation Art World come across these?
Who knows? Okay, another over-under. We have an original prop from Thomas the Train Engine, James, remote control train. Included the seller notes.
Not sure if he is operational. Assume that he no longer runs.
Dude, every 25-year-old on Grindr, when I updated my age to 29, assume that he's no longer operational. Needs to be glued back. What is
This is-
COA, cost of play?
I think it's certificate of
Authenticity.
authentication.
Oh, okay. Why did I not think that? I hate this.
So, you think it's over or under $10,000?
Since they refer to it as an investment piece and say it's extremely rare, I think it's going to be over.
Yeah. It's got its own case.
It's got the COA.
Okay. So for 18,400.
And what was the over under on the what was the price?
10K.
10K, so I was right.
It's James, man.
Nobody has ever described anything as an investment
Ah,
and had
shit.
it sell for that amount of money.
That one sold.
Well, all right. I'm gonna talk about this anyway. because my son's cologne collection, everything must go. Caught him. This is his punishment.
That sucks as a mom to do that.
That's hilarious.
Have you seen the Beyblade one? Where the fucking mom was selling the Beyblades because her sons destroyed them, and the listing was her 2 sons crying, holding up a sign about the listing. They were like 4 and 5 years old, and they had like broken the bathtub doing Beyblades.
No.
And then 4chan found out about it and like doxed the woman and almost got her killed for like publicly humiliating her children. Honestly, it was based move on 4chan's part. Like one of the few times where I agreed with what they did. But like, it reminds me of that.
Is it Melanie Martinez, that one YouTuber that made shitty music?
No, she's
She
that
was a-
one singer that made shitty music.
Okay, but she makes shitty music.
Yeah.
I saw multiple listings for this perfume. I guess it must be highly sought after. I don't know why. And as I was looking up perfumes,
ambergris.
I did some research on ambergris, which is naturally secreted from sperm whales, just based from things like they
That's
eat.
a humpback.
She did her best, dude.
I tried my best.
Maybe that's a gray whale. It's not a sperm whale, that's the bottom.
I love.
Imagine if it was.
Let's pretend it's a sperm whale.
It's a whale.
It's
Sure.
spinning around. So they secrete it naturally, and you could like theoretically find it like washed up on the beach, but it's illegal to possess it and sell it in the United States. However, it is approved for use by the FDA in food simultaneously. But I did also find that you can buy it from other countries on eBay. And that is legal.
So who's gonna go 50-50 with me?
Who wants some ambergris? I kind of want a piece. I'm not gonna lie. But it is illegal because sperm whales are an endangered species. Even though, I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Jared just learned about Labubu today.
How do you know?
Because I'm built different.
When you catch somebody saying something so labubophobic that you gotta hit them with the Pop Mart stare.
Come with me as we try the new Dubai chocolate Labubu themed ribs from Short Stacks in West Joy Bronxton.
It's because I don't have TikTok. That's why I don't know what this thing is.
Collector's Cartel goes crazy though.
There have been multiple kids at work that have brought them in.
Yeah, their kids are special.
I bet they all use TikTok.
Probably. But anyway, what do we think sold for more? This Van ones or Catch Me If You Like Me, like emo Labubu?
The emo.
Catch me.
It's gotta be the Vans.
Mitch?
I'm going with the Vans.
Alright.
Emo's been dead.
It was the Vans.
The Vans! Oh, wow.
By quite a lot. There were a couple listings for this one as well.
But what if we converted the Australian to US dollars? It
Oh,
was
then it's like
it was like
$13
$900. Yeah.
It would be about $10,000 US.
Cringe.
We got some Barbies. One of them is the original, very hard to find. That's what that means. Barbie, like number 1, in the case. It comes with an extra outfit. And then the other one is a misprint of the 1997 holiday Barbie, where she has blue eyes instead of green eyes.
Misprint.
I think this one's hard.
It's vintage.
Why the fuck is Universal Tank a Barbie seller? Why do they have that profile picture? I'm gonna.
It'd be a misprint, right? 'Cause it's like a one of one. It's not a very rare. It's just like literally not meant to exist.
I mean, I guess I'm not a misprint then.
At least you're not a Mormon.
I'm gonna go misprint, I guess.
Alright, who thinks misprint for highest price?
I'm so sorry if I like let this try.
Alright, so then let's reveal.
Gotta go with the year, remember?
It was the misprint.
White boys win again.
The other one did sell for quite a lot as well. Oh, god damn it. Well, this one's a freebie. We'll all get a point. These ones were the same price, and I thought they were both very cute. We love Twiggy. And the gay Parisian clothing.
Why?
Same price.
I am right here.
No way.
My blue eyes. Dude, there was a Subaru in the building next to my apartment building that I would walk by all the time. That they're fucking, it was a white Subaru and it had like the blue headlights and its fucking vanity plate was the blue Winter Wonderland plate that just was BLUIZ. And I was like, my blue eyes every time I saw it.
So, I genuinely don't remember how much this cost. So,
Over.
I'm gonna say 20,000. Over or under?
Under.
Over.
Over.
Because Black Lotus is like, what, 2,000?
I think Black Lotus is way fucking.
The cheapest version is like 10, 15 grand minimum for damage.
And this says pure gold.
Holy shit.
Over.
Didn't know we had a room full of Yu-Gi-Oh experts in here. Slamaholic shotties. Oh, I should know this. We buried my sister with an American Girl doll. Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin the vibe there.
No, it's good. So one of these sold for $7,000. Both American Girl dolls. One of them is Spooky Big Tooth, signed Kristen doll, and then we have White Body Samantha Parkington.
Oh, white body, baby.
Show me big tooth.
Big body.
Spooky.
Big tooth, white body.
You can go big tooth.
Big Tooth.
The right one.
Big tooth.
Spooky Big Tooth Kristen. Or Kristen.
Why does she look like that one senator that got caught fucking breaking into her stepmother's house?
Who?
If you know, you know. Someone doesn't watch Midwest Safety on YouTube.
Don't.
He's a Democratic state senator from Minnesota.
Okay, I have a
Get
different
out of the
matchup.
phone.
We got a Funko Pop of Vegeta. PSA 8.5, whatever that means. Autographed. And an insane showpiece gem Hot Wheels car.
That one.
Yeah, show me Hot Wheels.
Because the Suave Collectibles has 80% positive feedback, which means that their shit's probably priced improperly.
Who thinks Hot Wheels? Everybody? It was
barely.
by just a little bit. It's Beanie Babies.
Princess Diana.
I thought the Princess Diana one would be a little too obvious, so I just went past that one.
My bad.
So there's first generation royal blue and light blue elephants in their box, and then Valentino, Valentina, and Halo. The three of them. I think one of these is like 4 times more expensive than the other one, if I'm remembering correctly.
I want to go with Valentino's just because I like the idea of the one that's 4 times more expensive just being laid on the floor.
I'm gonna go with the elephants for reasons I'll elaborate on in a minute.
I think it's a red herring.
Is it
Yeah, I also think that the first and third generation thing is too obvious. It's gotta be Valentino.
Just give me the elephants. I've been wrong about everything else, man. Just give me the elephants.
I'm also just noticing that this person's username is iMath, which is interesting.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so who thought the elephants? Okay, let's see. Because I forgot.
Oh wow! See, it's crazy because I wanted to say the Valentine one at first, and then I saw the like no interest paid full thing, and I was like, oh well, if one of them is like multiple times more expensive, then it's got to be okay.
They're pretty
Just
cute.
Listen to my gut.
I don't know if they're that cute though. There's
Fuck.
Pokemon cards. Again, if you know this one, just relax for a minute. I'm sorry I don't have the data for this one, like, visible. But there's Charizard and Garura.
This is hard.
Parent-child prize promo. Kangaskhan Hollow.
This was fucking hard.
Yeah, because like This one's hard because it feels like inherently it should be Charizard. Because, like, first edition Charizard is like Pokemon's Black Lotus.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Because Blue Lotus is a hallucinogen.
Black Lotus is a Magic the Gathering card that was like immediately fucking banned from being able to be played and to become a collector's item.
It is the, like, most expensive trading card game card that has ever been sold.
Not until I'm done with them.
And first edition Charizard is Pokemon's equivalent, which is why it should be that, which is why it's probably not.
Right, another red herring.
I really want to say it's Kangaskhan, and not just because it's Japanese, but because I always really wanted to catch that Pokemon when I was a kid, but I had Fire Red and it's not available in that game. Unless you're in the Safari Zone, and I'm dumb.
Has everyone got a
Yeah,
guess?
it's in the Safari Zone.
I got it, guys.
Who thinks Charizard? Alright, ready? Let's see.
Oh,
yeah.
What's the Charizard?
Oh,
fuck.
oh.
I didn't even
Oh,
realize.
you know what? I forgot. It's okay.
Oh, I didn't
If
read
you
the
guess the
numbers until
Charizard,
now.
then
Okay.
you will get a point. I forgot I was gonna do it like that.
Do what?
It's which soul form?
I was gonna say which sold. for
Oh, but I was
66.
right.
I was not even looking at the title.
But I was right. God
You
damn
can
it.
get a point.
Wait. So did we get the point if we got Charizard or Kangaskhan on that one?
Charizard.
Okay.
But you get a point if you guess Kangaskhan too, because that was what the original question was about. Because it was which one is 66,500.
So we just
Yeah,
got a point either way then?
Yeah.
Yeah, we fucked
Just
it up.
take the point. Yeah, I fucked it up.
The points
Are
don't
you-
Okay,
matter.
free point. I'm gonna lose anyway, man.
Yeah,
I think we're
fuck
gonna
it.
get.
Kevin needs all the charity.
Yeah, I think give me the points.
This is the most
Upside
sought
down.
sought after. Yeah, it is upside down. Sought after stamp. It is the inverted Jenny. It came out in 1918. It was accidentally sold to the public. There was 100 of them, and there is an extensive record of their sale, which we're gonna look at briefly. So I did find a listing for one of these stamps. So I want to know how much you think that it is selling for.
How close do we have to be?
I'm just gonna say whoever gets the closest to the actual number.
Well,
Is there a figure range?
well, with tonight's sponsor, Stamps.com, actually you can save a ton on packaging and postage. So normally,
Here,
whatever.
why don't we
yeah.
just write your number down?
Okay.
I'm gonna think it in my head.
Or think it in your head. And then when you're done, let me know. Put your finger up. I'm done.
Excuse me, sauce.
Okay.
Oh.
Who
Oh my
guessed?
god!
Who guessed?
My guess was $275,000.
No way! So were you the closest? Were they the closer?
I said
300.
178.
300.
300?
It said 1.2 million. That was way off.
Holy shit.
Bro, that's awesome, dude.
Well
So
done.
just quickly, I wanted to look at this website. 'Cause
Errors
it
free.
was pretty cool. You can,
Was that every single stamp?
yes.
Every
and-
stamp ever made is right there.
Yes.
Yep, you
every
can learn
stamp
more
in the
about it.
world.
Has ever been made.
Sales, the biographies. These are a big deal, I guess.
Do you think this is like, you know, the people that are sexually attracted to like to
Stamps.
no to like to like airplanes? Like, you know, mechanophiles, the
Yeah,
people that
where
are
are you
sexually
going
attracted
with
to
this?
vehicles.
I don't.
What if
like
this
your
guy?
ideas.
What if this guy is like that Japanese guy that's married to the video game character from the DS game, but he's just married to the stamp, to inverted Jenny, because her pussy's on backwards.
Is this like Exodia, where if you collect all the inverted Jennies, you get like divine power or something?
Yeah, probably.
Inverted Jenny.
But if you put the feet too high up, then it looks like he's getting spread. It's very funny to look at.
So that was my last item. I also saw this Luna moth the other day. I just wanted to show it off. I'd never seen one before.
Of course, the queer man in the room is like, "Ooh, Luna moth!" immediately.
I also found out they only live for 1 week, and they do not have mouths, so they are subsisting off whatever they ate while they're a caterpillar.
Ooh, it's like that book.
It's like if you got a tummy ache.
It's like that book, dude. I have no mouth and I must scream.
Every time I have a tummy ache, I just say, "Oh, this is just like when I was a lunar moth and I couldn't eat anything for 1 week."
I like their little morals though. Antennae or whatever.
They're very cute. I want to give a chance for extra points. We can go down to see who was like closer, like after Parker.
I said 178.
78.
Oh, I was way off. I was at 50K.
What did you say?
58K.
I said 1.2 billion.
Okay.
300.
300. So.
Kevin would be second closest.
Like 2. I forgot all the numbers. And then you, right?
Third.
4th, 5th, 6th.
Ariel will be 4th. I'd be 5th, and Mitch would be 6th. So you want to say 6 points?
Yeah.
And then everyone else gets 1 less?
Yes.
Okay. So I get 2 points. You get 3 points.
I get 4 points.
4, 5, 6, 1.
Alright, you can add those all up, and when the.
So I get 6 extra points.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
6 points.
Oh, that is gonna fucking crush this.
Oh yeah, like.
Ouch.
Once you got your scores, I want to know who won.
15.
11.
11. 10.
Oh.
9.
9. 11.
Wow.
It's a bit.
I would have been last if you didn't do that. 100% I would have been last.
That's all I got.